Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky.
It's Bernie. Who are at room 222?
See, it's Halloween today. I know it means nothing to you now because whenever you're watching this, which could be Halloween next year, the only time it'll make any sense. Not that it makes any sense no matter what, but anyhow.
Bernie on room 222.
Yes. Now we're back to the Vintners series.
Or would you rather be Link from Mod Squad?
I would rather that we taste the wines for the people that tuned in to see what we have to say about them. What do you think?
Come on, Ed. Look at the color. This is so great. It's perfect. Pinot Grigio.
It's got that little pinkish tinge to it, you know.
Well, when Pinot Grigio is Pinot Gris and green means gray. Go ahead, say it.
Well, why don't you say that with a little more enthusiasm?
Okay, it's the Vintners series, November 2012. It is Halloween today. My co-host, Ed Massiana, all the way from Torrance, California. Hey, did you see my ring from the Marines? It's a graduation from the Army Navy store.
How appropriate.
Hey, Pinot Grigio from the Venezia, which is the place to grow them.
Pretty much. Venezia, you know, near Venice. Cool climate, really nice crisp acidity. You know, Pinot Grigio is a fairly short growing season, so it has time to really develop and make some delicious flavors in there.
Okay, this is what I like because this is Indicazione Geografica Tipica. It is totally typical of a Venezia Pinot Grigio, which, so, foods of Venice, seafoods.
Seafood, everything's seafood. I mean, you know, the whole country is you know,
pretty much
surrounded by the
upper
oceans.
northwest, northeast of Italy.
But it's also near the Po Valley where they grow hogs, you know, pork for sausages, you know, and for prosciutto. And you were just saying you had some incredible prosciutto plate.
So this restaurant that we went to called La Sosta, which means the pause, you know, take a break in Hermosa Beach, is Venice food, and it was a lot of creamy peppercorn sauce type meats. There was some pork, but that antipasta plate with the prosciutto and the mortadella and the partially dried tomatoes was incredible.
Oh God, yeah, you know Italians know how to cook. That's all there is to it.
And the bill was incredible.
Well, you know, it's a very expensive restaurant. So here we are, guys. Pinot Grigio, a regular price is $22.99. No.
$19.99.
I can't see because you put the wire over it.
$19.99. Pre-orders are $12.99.
$12.99. Great price for Pinot Grigio because it's an expensive grape
Real
from
Pinot
Italy.
Grigio.
Real Pinot Grigio. And I'm doing a 94.
94 also. It's just a great wine. Look at the color. It's the right color. It's got the right character.
Well, that's because it's got that little gray character to it because Pinot Gris means gray.
I love the minerality of it too.
Yeah. I was shocked when I saw this on the list that we actually got a Rosso di Montalcino that's going to fit into the...
well, there's a lot of history in this Rosso di Montalcino, and I love the wine, and people don't know they're like baby Brunellos, right? So
pretty much.
I think it's Sangiovese Grosso as well.
Absolutely, it would have to be.
But this is from famed designer Salvador Ferragamo, not to be confused with the quarterback Vince Ferragamo.
I wouldn't do that.
Who I thought I was wearing Salvador Ferragamo shoes, but they actually be Vince Ferragamo shoes.
You're actually wearing
Vince
Ferragamo cleats, yes. You know, it doesn't get any better, so we better quit while we're behind, okay?
So this is, I fell in love with this wine.
Well, this wine, I mean, I'm telling you, you know, Rosso di Montalcinos are great, great values. I mean, $21.99, $22.99 for this wine is a fabulous deal. Reorder price $13.99 is a joke. I mean, it's crazy because they're at least in the 20s because Brunellos are 50s and 60s. And the fact is, this wine, you know, it's got a counterpart that's probably $50, $60,
yeah,
easily. And you taste them side by side. Okay, well, the Brunello's better. There's no question. But is it 3 times better? No, it's not 3 times better.
Not this one.
Because this has got some guts to it. Sometimes they can be a little softer, but this one will definitely cut through your pulled pork sandwich.
This is good. And I remember tasting it, and really, we could have normally afforded it for the club, but they had a little more in the country than they wanted. They wanted to move it quickly. And of course, the Wine Month Club is a great place for these guys to come because they want to move some merchandise. They get paid on time, and they get a lot of people drinking their wines right away.
They get paid on time?
Yeah, they do get paid.
Well, how come I don't?
How come you don't get paid? That's their good vendors. Anyway, so speaking of that, you got that Chardonnay coming? This is a 96 for me.
Me too, actually. 96. Tremendous wine. Matter of fact, it should be a 100-point wine because, quite honestly, I don't think I've had a Rosso that is better than that.
No.
It's really phenomenal.
At the restaurant the other night, the Rosso de Montalcinos were $100 at this restaurant.
The Rossos were 100?
Yeah.
That's pushing it a little bit.
It is a lot.
I'm sorry. That's a bit much. That's really, well, that place is nuts.
You been there?
A few times, yeah.
I mean, I liked it a lot. But
The food's really, really good, but it's expensive.
it's too expensive.
And considering where it is,
Yeah, it's a hot spot. And there was a Ferrari Spider, probably a 59, 60 Ferrari Spider sitting out front, which had to be close to $1 million car.
yeah, well, in today's world.
Look at I just realized this nose is just, the Chardonnays from South America, which this is Chilean. I again repeat myself. Haven't really cared for them, but they've really come around. And this one's really taking on the character of the country. Mm-hmm. And the nose is just not like a Chardonnay from California.
No, it really isn't. It's really funny because there are elements in this nose that are similar to the Sauvignon Blancs from here. Mm-hmm. And a really good wine writer many years ago wrote an article about how the terroir is so distinctive that it will show up whether the grape grown on it is red or white. And oh, you're full of it. You don't know what you're talking about. And you say, okay, I'm an idiot. Well, like 20 years later, people are coming around saying, there's an element here, whether it's Cabernet or Chardonnay or Pinot Noir or Aglianico or whatever you're growing, that comes through in the soil. The soil is the most important ingredient in the grape, in the wine. Mm-hmm. And this is just spectacular.
There's no question. This is all terroir. And then you get the Chardonnay toward the end of the beginning of the finish. It's like, oh yeah, there's Chardonnay, there's the green apples. There's
absolutely green apple and a little almost nectarine-ish peach.
Yeah, I was gonna say
apricot too. Yeah, it's really, really nice. It has almost a sweetness to it, but it's not sweet. It finishes bone dry. I mean, it smacks you. Wow, $9.99 on the reorder price, killer. I would probably be $70 at that restaurant. I'm going with a 93 on that one.
I'm going to the doctor because I just splashed it in my eye.
Well,
That's all right. I'm going 94. I really like it.
Hey, next time you go down there, I'll tell you an Italian restaurant to go to, and that's Osteria Piave.
Where's that at?
That's on Pacific Coast Highway, just north of Torrance Boulevard, like 100 feet.
Oh, really?
Unbelievable food. I've been there 6 times in the last couple of months.
I went to Cucina something or another. It was all right. Going to Redondo Riviera. Okay, so here's we did the Stonegate Chardonnay, loved it. I went to the
Stonegate Merlot, which was phenomenal.
You did?
Yeah, well, last year.
And so I went to the big wine tasting, the Young's tasting. I tasted 100 wines in a couple hours. And then I got to this table at the end, and I'm like, oh, we did a couple of these wines already. I'm not going to repeat them. And then I tasted this Cabernet, and they said, we want you to have it, and so you can sell it for. Reorders are going to be $11.99. I'm like, okay, jeez. And so then I asked them. I said, "You have California on the label?" She goes, that's just so we can change the juice. It's all Monterey juice.
Doesn't taste like Monterey to me at all.
Sonoma. Was it Sonoma?
Tastes more like Sonoma. Yeah. God, it's dense. This thing's really packed.
It's all Sonoma juice.
Licorice.
So they could have put Sonoma Valley, Sonoma County on this, but they just put California so that they had more latitude. And then they changed the label in 2 years from now. So they just said, you know what? We'd rather you have it and just sell it to your customers. I'm like, okay, sold.
This wine is dense. Got cocoa, chocolate. Really unbelievable. I mean, at these prices, I'm amazed at what these guys are doing.
So it's $18.99 on the shelf, $11.99 for more. You want Cabernet? This is Cabernet.
This is Cabernet. I mean, it is so Cabernet. No, it isn't Sonoma. It says Coastal Collection, so it does come from Monterey.
Yeah, but that's just the name of their.
No,
that's the Appalachians, California.
I know, but it says Coastal Collection.
Yeah, but that's just.
Anyway, because there is Sonoma coast, but anyhow, who cares where? I don't care if it came from Iowa. Wine's delicious, or Texas for that matter. I'm doing a 96 on this. I think this wine's incredible.
I go 95, and what do you seriously? What do you? Do kids come around your neighborhood on Halloween?
Well, they do, but I'm not there.
Well, I think you go like, why don't you put yourself in a vacuum bag and be a sous vide?
I'm giving each a bottle of wine. That's what I'm going to do.
You know what? No, seriously, what if you had little mini beer bottles, those 8-ounce Millers they used to have, and you did a video from the other side, from the kids coming in, and you start handing out beers to these kids.
No, I don't want to see the kids' faces. I want to see the parents' faces. And that's our show for today, boys and girls. The Vintners series for November 2012.